everyone, I hope that you all are fine. We are here in front of you. We are sisters, and my name is Manvi and my name is Harshita.
Good.
And we are here to ask some questions to sir. And in front of us there is a teacher, Deepak Jain, and he is going to answer our questions. So let's start the questions.
Okay.
So, sir, I want to ask you that what is your past experience about your learning, or when you used to learn in school and in college? You can say or you can answer any of them.
Okay, you want to know about my past experience,
Yes.
right? And especially in the school and in the college. Okay, that's a good question. Let me tell you, I was an average student when I was in school or in college, right? And I can, to be honest with you, let me tell you, I wasn't focused on my education because it was many years ago, because I had no good guidance or support, okay, and there was nobody to ask me to study. And let's say if I get low marks, there was nobody to ask me, why did I get low marks? Or let's say if I got high marks, suppose, then there was nobody to appreciate me. So there was no motivation, or there was nobody to scold me, okay? Then I used to just pass the classes, and I passed my high school somehow. I completed my 12th, and I failed my 12th class in my life. And after that, I had to quit my education or my learning. Then I started working hard. I became a laborer, and I had to drop my study because of my financial condition. And I was average student, yes, and I was never focused. I never focused extra on my study, and I just used to pass exam. Okay, and let's say if you go home and you study, so I never did that. I used to just play, wander here and there. So that was, my learning or my learning days.
So, sir, I want to ask you that when did you think of learning English? That you thought that I should make my career in English and I should start an English coaching and start teaching students like as we are a student of yours.
Okay, these are two personal questions, but I would love to answer, because today I would be honest and I would love to answer your all the questions. Yeah, very good question. When did it strike my mind that I should learn English? Okay, as I told you, after 12th class, I had to drop my study, and even till now, I knew nothing in English. Okay, I had no relation with English. I mean, I just knew how to read and write. Okay, not about language. So yes, I used to work as a laborer, and I used to earn money because I was going through bad financial conditions. Okay, because I had to earn money to eat food. So yes, my study took a back seat. I stopped it, and after that I started working as a laborer. And then suddenly, good question. Why did I then learn English? How did this strike my mind? Okay, once actually a friend of mine was working in a hotel. He used to work there. Then this desire came in my mind that I also, because I was working in a factory, so I wanted to get rid of the factory. So I discussed with my friend. I asked him if I could get a job in that hotel. So he sent me there for interview. I went there, but in the hotel I could not speak in English because interviews are conducted in English. Okay, and I was very much serious about the job, about the change in my life. And I also wanted to move from a blue collar to white collar job. Okay, so in a hotel, obviously, if you become, let's say, if you become a receptionist, if you become a cashier, then you get a white collar job. And in the factory, let's say, or as a labor, you are delivering 12 hours. But in that hotel, or if it is a white collar job, then you deliver 8 hours. So it was a kind of a greed, or we can say temptation for me. So I was serious, but because of English I got rejected, and I was in a bad condition during the interview. Then after the interview I felt very sad, bad, and I felt angry because I could not speak in English. Although if had I wanted, I could have ignored it, right? And I could go back to the factory as a labor, but I took it to my heart and then I made up my mind to learn English. Why? Because I got rejected in the interview because of English. Then I made up my mind to learn English. And I am a kind of a person, either I don't do anything, or if I do, I love to do passionately. So when I learnt it, and it should match my nature, okay? Not everything, right? When I say I do it passionately, but in certain things your nature matches, right? So when I made up my mind to learn English, it matched my nature. So when I was learning, I liked it, and although there was no teacher, no support, but I loved doing it. So that's how it started, and this idea struck my mind that I should learn it. So as a suggestion, I would say you should be ready to face the things, even if you fail, right? So there is a possibility it can stimulate your desire to do something. Why? Because you failed. So that failure became the reason of my this small success today. Had I not gone to that interview, had I not taken that risk, although there was no risk, right?
Yes, sir.
It was just a humiliation, and which was important. And एक कहावत है, जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. It is all for the best, right? So yes, the best thing that ever happened to me in my life was the failure in that interview. Hadn't I failed in that interview, I wouldn't have been here in front of you. You wouldn't have got a teacher like me today.
Yes, sir.
Right?
From where did you learn English? Was there any teacher to teach you, or you learned English by yourself with the help of books? But there were not, I think, mobiles. Did you have mobile at that time?
No, mobiles were not there. Even the keypad mobiles were not there.
Channels and whatnot also.
Yeah, that's a good question, and it is true. I didn't learn from any teacher. Actually, when I made up my mind, I didn't even have fees to deposit in any coaching or in any institute. So what I did at my home, I started learning. I bought many books, such as, for example, Rapidex, or so many books related to English. And if I got the books in Hindi, I used to convert it in English. And if I got the book in English, then I used to translate that in Hindi. So that's how I used to learn. After that, I used to talk to myself. And I used to talk to myself so much that I didn't get to know how I learned it. I mean, when I used to talk to myself, I was able to speak to myself. But I was actually yearning to get people to speak with. Unfortunately, I didn't get anybody to speak with. But I knew English then. But let's say, if I had got a chance to speak with somebody, I found myself able to speak in English.
So, didn't you commit any mistake between?
Hardly, because I was too much focused on grammar. And sincerely, honestly, although there was no support, but I myself, was focused on it. I really didn't like committing errors and all. So I did a kind of mastery on grammar. I really said to myself that I would never make mistakes in terms of grammar, and I should not make mistakes. I was adamant not to commit errors. So I took grammar very seriously. And I would suggest people, let's say if you wanna be fluent and flawless in English, focus extra on grammar. Make it very good. कि गलती से भी गलती ना हो, then you would be impeccable in terms of in your spoken, and you would be flawless. If you will be flawless, then if you are flawless, then flow would always obviously be there, or would always be there, right? So that was the thing.
Sir, I want to ask one thing also, that when you when you knew English very good, or after learning or after knowing English very well, what did you do? Did you do any job, any kind of job?
Yes, that's right. Even after knowing English, I used to work as a laborer because I didn't know what am I, right? And I also didn't know the main purpose of this language, or I didn't know the scope. I also didn't have any guidance, right? So where to do, what to do or where to go. So because of the lack of guidance, even after knowing English, despite knowing English, I used to work as a labor. So I was working in as a labor. So when I used to speak in English, if I had got a chance, then people suggested me to go somewhere or to do something. After that, I made up my mind to join the international call centers, multinational companies. So yes, people suggested me to go there, but actually there were some shortcomings, setbacks were there. I had to improve. Okay, you need to polish up your language in order to make your career in multinational companies, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I had to do that. So yes, somebody suggested me to join a coaching. I joined a coaching. I joined the institute, but not to learn English because I wanted to polish up my language. But unfortunately, in that institute, I didn't get that learning. I mean, that strong learning which I was looking for. So, but yes, because I joined, so I had to pass my time there. Like I had to, spend that time because I paid for that. I paid money for that. So, but yes, my practice was done there, and I became little better. That is for sure. But I had put my own efforts. I did learning, strong learning, but was that learning was my own. Now that I did. Okay, so that's how I learned. And then after that, I left Mathura for Delhi, and I got a job in a small company. Then while working in the small companies, I used to go for interviews. I got rejected 27 times, but I learned 27 things, 27 new things, and I applied that. I applied them in my language, and then one day I succeeded to get the offer letter of a multinational company.
So, sir, my next question is that didn't you have any kind of passion or aim since childhood that usually every children have that I want
Yes.
to become an IAS doctor and all.
Very good question.
Hmm.
Okay, actually, in my early childhood about IAS, IPS, I knew nothing. Right? These aims were not there because, especially in that duration, not even in my school, any student, no student had that aim. So forget about that. Okay, we didn't actually. We were living kind of aimless life, to be honest with you. But yes, if you talk about my personal choice, so what used to attract me as an aim. So it was dancing and fighting. I mean, these things used to attract me a lot. I was ready to do anything to achieve this, or let's say to participate in dance if I had got a chance, but I never got chances.
So, sir, what is your hobbies at that time?
Great hobbies. Although by nature I am not pugnacious, I am not quarrelsome, but that I loved. I like fighting or doing actions or dancing, or if preferably dancing. I was crazy, but I never got chances to dance. But although I did dancing in my life, but it was too late because that passion still was there, right? So at one point of time in my life, I utilized that passion and did some dancing somehow.
Means,
Not to a great extent, but yeah, to some extent I did.
If in the past, if you got a chance to do a career in dancing or any fighting, then would you choose that?
Absolutely, I would have gone for it. I was crazy. I was ready to do anything for that. But I had no money to pay the fee or to join the coaching classes and all.
And no one supported you.
Nobody supported me, and I had to earn 2 times food. So I had to earn money for that. So I was working for 10 hours, 12 hours. So it was not possible to give time to these fields. Either you earn or you give time to these fields. But yes, I mean, while working as a labor, somehow I became passionate about learning English. So yes, I mean, I focused on it. I mean, kind of passion arose, we can say. Passion arose naturally, and this passion drifted me to this field today. After working in Converges, HCL, and TCS, then I started my institute of this, English learning.
Yes, sir. Now you are successful, and but I want to ask that if still there is any goal of yours to become anything, or
That good question
do you
again.
want to become?
Yeah, again, this is a good question. Right now, to be honest, I don't have such goal, but right now I am passionately focused on this institute. It is my life, I can say. So yes, my only aim is to just sustain this. I wish to take it to a high level in the city. So right now, this only is my aim. There is nothing like I want to be something greater, or I want to achieve any position or any job or government job like that. So right now, this institute is everything for me, and I'm focused on it, and I'm ready to do anything for this in order to uplift this
Means you want to take this institution at a higher level.
higher level.
In this particular city?
Yes, in this particular city, number one position, and I want to sustain that throughout the life till my death. That's what I want.
So sir, we can say that you troubled a lot to get to become successful or to get success. So what as you are too much experienced, so I want to ask that what should we do, or what should the children of now this generation should do to become successful or to get success?
I would say, first of all, success has no limit, right? It is not small or big, okay? Success means whatever you do, and if you make up your mind to achieve or to do something, if you are able to do that, you succeed. Let's say a child, initially a child is not able to run, right? Or walk also. So when the child walks, he becomes successful, right? So you are also successful. When you learned how to ride bicycle, you became successful. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so success, doesn't mean that you to become a multi-millionaire or billionaire, right? Okay, so what I would say, let's say if you make up your mind to do something, then be passionate, be crazy for that. Or we can say that when you become crazy, you will not be running after your aim. Your aim will be running after you. Let's say even if you try to forget, you won't be able to forget. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you would be thinking of it. Then you can understand that this is the right aim of yours. You would be passionate. Even in washroom, you would be thinking of it. Let's say dancing. So even in washroom, you would be thinking of the dancing steps. Let's say make up your mind to learn English. Even in washroom, you would be thinking sentences in English. You would be talking to yourself in English. You would be curious to know so many things, any word or anything. So the passion has to be there, attitude has to be there, positive attitude has to be there. Don't just get rid of it when it doesn't happen. When you begin anything, beginning is never good, right? So when beginning is not good, at that time you have to keep patience, you have to be consistent, okay, and you have to be determined. Determination has to be there. So by the time you don't achieve, don't leave, don't ignore. So determination has to be there. So these all the things are the ingredients of the achievements. So if you or anybody or somebody follows, then he or she would achieve it for sure. The competition is there, that's a different thing, but you would learn it. You would learn. Okay. If somebody is greater than you, that's a different thing, but you learn it. It doesn't go in vain. That's what I suggest.
So at last, sir, I want to say thank you to you to share such a very
Experience.
experience and motivating stories to us, and you are best.
Okay,
You are
thank
the
you so
best
much.
teacher for us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's a great compliment for me.
So thank you our viewers to watch this channel, and we can motivate ourselves with this
These stories.
beautiful journey of our teacher Deepak Jain sir. So thank you sir.
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, you were very good in asking questions, and I loved answering your questions. Okay, and we will make many more sessions like this in which we will openly conversing with each other. Okay, because it would be a healthy discussion, and I'll also be asking you certain questions like this about you, your biography. Okay, so be ready on that. Yeah. So that was all in this video. Thank you so much for your participation and for your questions, and I wish you a lovely day ahead and lovely life ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, bye now.